Today, armies use radios, satellites, instant messages. But for most of history, none of that existed. So how did armies communicate across battlefields, cities, and continents? Slowly, creatively, and often dangerously.
The most common method was simple: a human messenger. One person, one message, running through chaos. If the messenger fell, the message died with them.
On horseback, messages traveled faster. Cavalry couriers crossed miles of terrain, but horses could be wounded or captured. Speed helped, but reliability was never guaranteed. Armies also used sight. Flags, banners, and hand signals. Each movement had meaning. But fog, smoke, or darkness could erase communication instantly. Sound carried commands. Drums told soldiers when to advance. Horns signaled retreat or charge. But sound doesn't choose its audience. The enemy could hear it too. Some armies used birds. Carrier pigeons flew messages over enemy lines. They were fast, hard to intercept, but not perfect. Weather, predators, and gunfire ended many messages mid-air. Because communication was unreliable, armies planned ahead. Maps were marked, timings were fixed, fallback plans prepared. If communication failed, everyone followed the plan, even if the plan was wrong. Many battles were lost not because of firepower, but because messages arrived late or not at all. Units fought alone or moved the wrong way. Silence was deadly. Before radios, communication was fragile. Every order depended on time, weather, and luck. And yet, wars were still fought, won, and lost. Sometimes because a message arrived, sometimes because it never did. If you want more hidden stories from World War II, subscribe for the next episode. Because history isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers.